What's going on, people? It's Dre. Guys, I have come back to Grand Theft Auto Online, but not in the way you'd expect. I will be ditching my level 270 character on PC and heading over to PlayStation.
What did he say?
It sounds silly, but there's a few reasons for this. First off, why would I come back to GTA? Well, I think we can all admit it's still thriving. It's still one of the popular games out there. Steam is averaging just under or just over 100k players a day still, although GTA RP is most likely the plausible reason for this consistent amount of players. As for the other platforms, I'm not too sure on the numbers, but there's definitely thousands still actively playing. And on top of that, Red Dead is dead. Content is lacking for that game, which is a shame because it had a lot of potential. You know, the story had so many elements that could be incorporated into online, but Rockstar just won't do it. All we get is discounts on beans and clothing and the usual bonuses on the roles like trader, bounty hunter, collector, all of that stuff. So yeah, there's not much to do on there at the moment. And lastly, a friend of mine wanted to play, and back on PC I had no one to play with. I pretty much did everything myself, and whilst I made a lot of money, it was kind of boring, so why not spice up the gameplay with some friends? But for some bum-ass reason, they're only selling the premium version of the game and up. I couldn't find the original copy, I was considering buying the special edition to get a head start with some extra money, but my friend advised against it. I was reassured that I could make a lot of money without it, and I've done it once before on PC, so what's stopping me from doing it again? And side note, my gaming laptop sounds like a... Like, my PS4 is quieter than that, and that's saying something. So if I want to be heard, logically speaking, PlayStation is the way. But the PlayStation ain't innocent either. You know, that thing sounds crazy AF, but I remember playing Destiny 2 with my friends a few years back, and all they could hear on Discord was my flipping fan coming from my laptop. So it's a no-no. I spend more time on PlayStation anyway. All I needed now was a copy of GTA, and all my days, one of my boys pulled through and gave me his copy since he barely plays it anymore. NCB, appreciate that, my bro. This was the original, not premium, there's no additional content, so it's perfect. I was almost ready, but I just had to check in with my PC character one more time. Okay, before you guys judge me on my property choices, I only bought this crispy, crunchy looking house so I could quickly access my bunker. But I'll explain why in a bit. I'll show you what I'm leaving behind. I actually kept my Stromberg here just to get around, but that was also used to counter oppressors. I did end up buying the Buzzard, it's literally the only air vehicle I ever purchased, but flying on PC was a mad one for me. I even had to double check the controls because I mapped them terribly. Kind of why I'm excited to be back on console because it's much easier to fly things on controller. Back at my main apartment, I'm not even kidding, I have never done a heist as the host. There's the proof, the scope out mission for the Fleeker job, I think that's the first one. It sounds stupid and it looks stupid. I think I've done a setup in a finale one for other players, but that's as close as it got. I don't know why I never did these, I could have made so much money from them, but I guess I wanted to play with people I actually knew rather than randoms because we all know how long heists can get if that's the case. Despite that though, I still managed to make a fair bit of money, purchased a few vehicles. You've seen the Stromberg already, but I copped the Mark 1 oppressor. I would always crash this thing, but I wanted to keep my vehicles in the garage, and for the Mark 2, I don't think you could do that. I bought the Hakuchio drag, incredibly fast. I think the Tron bike was slightly faster, but I prefer the customization on this. Now, I'm a bit of a car guy, so majority of these purchases are for aesthetic purposes, like the Ada, Tempesta, and the Taurus. One of the very few four-door cars that's very quick. It handles like crap though, the car is very drifty, at least from what I've noticed. But it's a very good getaway vehicle for heist since you can fit all 4 players in there. Obviously I got the Kuruma, which means one of the finale heist missions I did with another player was the Fleeker job. It's a must-have, especially if you're a solo player like I was. It's 99% bulletproof, and I say that because you can get shot at certain angles, but yeah, I literally use this for almost every mission. I got the weaponized tamper as well because the Kuruma was a little boring to use at times, so I just used it to switch things up. Then we have the Sultan Rs. Boy, I loved customizing this car, bro, it's my favorite. This thing shifts like crazy and I love the way the engine sounds. Check it. Then I got the Devastate, sort of for the aesthetic because I did like the design, but it was also for whenever races were double money. None of my other cars were good competitors, so the Devastate was the one to take up that challenge. And lastly we have the APC, and I thought the fact that it could go on water was so cool. Barely any weaponized vehicles do that. I think the Toreador and the Stromberg can go underwater, but that's submarine mode. That makes them slow. You know, the APC was like a speed bro, it was crazy. Now I was going to show you a few more things, but I needed to be in a public session for that, which can be the most tedious thing about GTA Online for PC. Modders have no chill. It took me 3 attempts to get in. First try, all I could hear was explosions and then I got an error. That might have just been my connection, But for my second attempt, as soon as I opened my garage door, I fell into some sort of abyss and got spawned in the middle of the city. Fuck's sake. My third attempt, I started getting vexed because my character was stuck here for a good minute. I was like, damn, you modders won't even let us leave the house? Like, what's going on? But luckily, it fixed itself. The bunker was solely for research. All my resources were put into the research section to get unique ammo types and weapons for vehicles. And I did try sell some cargo on my own, but you know, it's long doing it by yourself, so I only did this a few times, maybe 2 or 3 times. But yeah, that's my PC character done. It's been fun, but it's time to move on to another platform. So long, level 270, hello, level 1.
Oh man, my mouth was open!
Ladies and gentlemen, I was ready. Ready to face GTA Online once again. I'm feeling like Gus Fring. Unstoppable. Not shook in the slightest. I'm...
Oh my god.
Not bulletproof, it seems. Okay, no, I'm joking. Here's how my first few hours actually went. So I actually skipped the tutorial, met up with a friend, messed about on the bike and planes for a bit, and then I got killed. I was actually trying to start up a mission, but wanted to see what this player would do. Props to him though, before he killed me, he at least took the time to think about it, then he lit my ass up. A couple times actually, but it comes with a package really, you know, there's no mercy in free roam lobbies. Doesn't matter what level you are, everyone's guns are rated E for everyone. This is the same thing that happened in Red Dead Online with my friends. But for GTA, the only time a new player should be in a public lobby is if you're trying to do stuff for your business, if you bought one early, or if you have high level friends with you, because without them you're going to get rinsed. You know, you're very limited in terms of weapons and your stats are pretty low to begin with. Now obviously you could just shark hard your way through with the Hellbringer, Atomizer and the Widowmaker, but you'd be a glass cannon. You know, you'd have the firepower, but your character is still lacking in the stat department. So what I resorted to was just missions. Dispatch missions, Simeon's repo work, any mission that was active really, which steadily leveled me up and gave me anywhere between 10 and 25k per match. Now I did die a few times because I was a little rusty, overconfident against the AI, and my character is still lacking in the health department, so I ended up getting carried in a few of these, but got to witness some awesome driving skills. On top of that, I actually managed to complete some other things like helping out with the motorcycle business, and I also completed the Fleeker job as the host for the first time ever. So I made a couple 100k from that. I even purchased my first few modes of transportation, the moped and a BMX bike, which was actually frowned upon by the lobby. I had a few people trying to mess me up when I was taking this thing around, people out here dissing my bike or trying to destroy it. I just wanted to feel like Jimmy Hopkins again, okay? I got lucky with this jet griefer though. Easiest way to avoid them is just to hug a wall around the corner. You're harder to hit. It wasn't soon after that I got murked by an actual biker. Downside to PS4, the frames suck and the draw distance is terrible. I couldn't tell he had his gun out, I thought he was a friendly. But in all seriousness, I was just taking the piss. I just didn't search the store enough. They actually had some free cars, so transport was no longer an issue. I just copped the Buffalo, although I didn't use it as much. My friend had a faster car, so I just used that to get around for the majority of the heist. But the money simply wasn't enough. I needed more, so it was time to head over to Sumo.
You fucking muppet!
Oh lord, now you're probably wondering why I didn't do this to begin with. Conveniently, it was triple money this week and Rockstar rarely do triple, so this was the best time to stack some cash. But it's an adversary game mode. I hate losing. I do get a little salty with these types of games, which is why I was dreading it. But it was for the bag, and your level doesn't actually matter for this mode, so I've been sitting through this for the past few days. I guess you all know how this works. Stay in the circle, it gets smaller and smaller as the time goes by, and the last team standing wins. Surprisingly, I was actually good at this. Pulled off some W's for the team and even sacrificed myself from time to time. I never really played these back on PC, but it didn't seem too bad. I just wish the cars were visible in the pre-game menu. I don't know all of them by heart, so it would have been nice to see what car I was actually using. I was mainly familiar with the supercar names, but as for the others, I had no clue. So I just ended up with awful choices. The car you have does matter, you can get bullied if it isn't strong enough or whatever. For supers, the Cyclone was very good. Not the fastest or the best supercar in general, the Wagner is, but the Cyclone has the best acceleration, which is perfect for situations like Sumo. My tactic is usually loitering outside the bubble until the last second, then heading in. Playing it super safe, yeah, but it stops stuff like this from happening. The bubble itself is carnage, so you want to spend as much time outside of it and only going for the last 5 seconds or so. It's the best way to come in clutch, it worked for me a couple times. Pay-wise, I think it's worth it. It's a bit mathsy because your overall payout does depend on a few factors like how many teams there were, how many rounds you won. Deaths don't affect your payout, I think it just impacts your placement on the leaderboard. Obviously it's triple money and makes the most at the moment, but to maximize payout, I wouldn't go past 7 rounds. A bit of back and forth between the teams taking a dub is good. You should try to win anyway, but if not, winning a round or 2 should give you a decent bonus. I found that if you win after 7 rounds, you get a little under or just over 150k for about 30 minutes of playtime. Make of that what you will, I think 300k an hour is decent. Losing isn't so bad though, because depending on the number of rounds you win, you can earn around 85k from what I've seen, which isn't terrible. 85k for 30 minutes is still pretty good, but this does fluctuate. The fewer the teams, the better the payout basically, and 5 to 7 rounds should make it time worthy. I've seen some people set it to 1 round before, which is kind of pointless. Easy 15k in 5 minutes, yeah, but then you have to load up a new map, fill up the lobby again, which wastes a bit of time. But yeah, that's the main goal, to not lose, so I'm gonna do this to reset day. Today is Monday and I have $1,452,339. I'll update you guys on Friday to see how I did. Okay guys, it's Friday, weekly reset was yesterday, and here's how much I accumulated this week. So I'm up to $2,337,018 if you want to count the $16 in my pocket. In the past 4 days, I've made about 800 to 900k. I don't know the exact calculations, but I'll put it on screen for you guys. Other than that, it was a solid week. Couldn't have joined at a better time since the Sumo Adversary mode was triple money. But this week, we're down back to double money on Ron missions, so things may be a little slow on the money making side since there isn't a dedicated playlist for it. So you'll be given other non-double money missions after you beat one of these. Takes a while to get back into the rotation, but there are some cool sales this week. Discounts on the Laser, OG Comet, the Progen, GP1 and the Night Shark. There's some other stuff too, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's it really. First week back on GTA done. As far as purchases go, I honestly have no idea what to buy. The Night Shark looks tempting since it's on sale, and I may get the Sultan back just so I have a fast car. The garage is looking dead. I gotta put something in here, man. I may turn this video into a series or something, but we'll see. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. It's been Dre, take care, and see you guys next time.